Constitution is defined as a set of fundamental principles or established precedents according to which a state or other organization is governed. Thus, the world itself means to be part of a whole, the coming together of distinct entities into one group with the same principles and ideals. These principles define the nature and the extent of government. The Constitution of the Philippines, the supreme law of the Republic of the Philippines, has been in effect since 1987. There were only 3 other constitutions that have effectively governed the country: the 1935 Commonwealth Constitution, the 1973 Constitution, and the 1986 Freedom Constitution. However, there were earlier constitutions attempted by the Filipinos in the struggle to break free from the colonial yoke.
The Constitution of Biak na Batu was provisionary constitution of the Philippine Republic during Philippine Revolution and was promulgated by the Philippine Revolutionary Government on 1 November 1897. The Constitution, borrowed from Cuba, was written by Isabelo Artacho and Felix Ferrer in Spanish, and later on translated into Tagalog. The organ of government under the Constitution were Supreme Council, which was vested with the power of the Republic, headed the President and 4 department secretaries, the Interior, Foreign Affairs, Treasury, and War. The Consejo Supremo de Gracias y Justicias, or Supreme Council of Grace and Justice, which was given the authority to make decisions and affirm or disprove the sentences ordained by other courts and to dictate the rulers for the administration of justice, and the Asamblea de Representantes, or Assembly of Representatives, which was to be convened after the revolutions to create a new constitution and to elect a new council of government and representative of the people. The Constitution of Biak na Batu was never fully implemented since a truce, the Pact of Biak na Batu, was signed between the Spanish and the Philippine Revolutionary Army. The separation of the Philippines from the Spanish monarchy and their formation into an independent state with its own government called the Philippines Republic has been the end of sought by the revolution in the existing war began on 24 August 1896, and therefore it is named and by the power of delegated by the Filipino people, interpreting Filipino their desires and ambitions with the representative of the revolutions in meeting at the Biak na Batu, November 1, 1897. Unanimously adopted the following articles for the Constitution of the state. The leaders of the Filipino Revolution accepted a bribe from Spain once the truce was signed, and they fled the exile in Hong Kong. The United States Navy returned Aguinaldo to the Philippines after the Americans defeated the Spanish on May 1 in a battle of Manila Bay. The freshly organized Philippines Revolutionary Forces returned to the Aguinaldo's command, and on June 12, 1898, the Philippines Declaration of Independence and several other decrees that established the first Philippines Republic were established. A commission made up the affluent and intelligent individual was chosen to prepare a draft constitution on September 17, 1898. By the newly elected Malolos Congress, the Constitution they produced, named the Political Constitution of 1899, was drafted in Spanish, was accepted in the Congress on November 29, 1898, and was promulgated by the Aguinaldo on January 21, 1899. The Constitution consists of 39 articles with 14 titles each, 8 articles with a temporary clause, and 1 additional item with inspiration from the Constitution of Belgium, Mexico, Brazil, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and Guatemala, as well as the French Constitution of the 1793. The text was modeled after the Spanish Constitution of 1812. These nations were investigated according to the Philip Calderon, the primary author of the Constitution, because they experienced comparable social, political, ethnological, and governmental conditions to the Philippines. The Cartela and the Sangguniang Hukuman Emilio Jacinto 1896 Katipunan Characters of Laws and Moral, the Biak na Batu Constitution of 1897, Isabelo Artachos 1898 Philippines Republic Constitution Programs, Mariano Ponce 1898 Provisional Constitution that was modeled after the Spanish Constitution, and the Autonomy Project were the all earlier Philippines constitutional project that had impact of the Malolos Constitution. We, the representative of Filipino people, have voted, decreed, and sanctioned the following political constitution in order to establish justice, provide for common defense, advance the general well-being, and ensure benefits of liberty, while pleading with the sovereign legislator of the universe for assistance in achieving these ends. A legal theory that underpinned the Philippines Revolution was retroversion of sovereignty to the people as a direct challenge to colonial rulers of the Spanish Empire. While maintaining actual sovereignty, the people outsourced government duty to civil officials. The natural rights and popularity sovereignty of the Filipino are outlined in 27 articles of the title, and the remuneration does not entail the exclusion of any rights that are not specifically included. The state acknowledges the freedom and equality of the all religions, as well as other separations of church and state. According to Title 3, Article 5, these are immediate responses of the aspect of Spanish administration in the Philippines, where the Ferries predominate as state agents. The system of government must be popular, representative, alternative, and responsible. And it must exercise three different powers: legislative, executive, and judicial. As stated in Title 2, Article 4, the Assembly of Representatives, a unicameral legislature whose members are chosen for 4 years term, was given the authority to pass laws. The Assembly, which meets yearly for at least 3 months, was awarded seats for the secretaries of the government. The President or a member of the Assembly could introduce a bill. The body also received some non-legislative powers, including the authority to choose its own officials, the ability to censure the expelled members, and the ability to impeach the President, member of the Cabinet, and Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. And the Solicitors General, the Constitution established a permanent commission of 7, elected by Assembly with an explicit authority to meet in between Assembly session. The President, who was chosen by a Constitutional Assembly of the Representative and Specially Representatives, was given executive authority. The President won't be up for re-election after his 4 years tenure is through. There was no Vice President, and Constitution Assembly would choosing a President and even a vacancy. Due to the ongoing war, the 1899 Malolos Constitution was never put into effect. The Treaty of Paris, which transferred sovereignty over the Philippines to the United States on December 10, 1898, effectively made in the Philippines a U.S. colony.